It's time for some real education. Toulouse-Lautrec was a French painter, printmaker, and illustrator whose immersion in the colorful and theatrical life of Paris in the late 19th century allowed him to produce elegant and provocative images of the decadent scenes of those times. His parents were first cousins, and many of his congenital health conditions were attributed to a family history of inbreeding.
As a young boy, he broke his bones, and at that both of his femurs and his legs, and at that point they stopped growing. So his legs below the waist never stopped being children's legs, while the top part of him kept growing to normal size. So he's kind of a really interesting, odd little fella there. Of all the painters of this age, he was the one that overcame the most physical difficulty. His real name, his actual full name, is Henri Marie Ramon de Toulouse-Lautrec Monfort, and that's a whole complicated thing. He's known, he's one of those painters that's good enough a painter to be known simply as Toulouse-Lautrec, his last name. And take a look at the picture we chose for today. This is La Toilette, right? It's a woman's time in the bathroom. And there's something really, really interesting about this picture. You never see her face. She's turned to you. It's a very erotic image, especially in the time of Victorian England. It's an incredibly erotic image. She is stripped down to basically her underclothes. You could see her stockings pulled down on the right leg just to the knee. And you can see it's a very intimate moment, a moment where she doesn't even realize she's being watched, which makes it almost definitely a voyeuristic painting as well. This painting, La Toilette, also known as Russe, depicts a domestic scene of a woman sitting on a plain towel or sheet over a dark rug on a bare floorboard. She is largely undressed with bare back, arms and head, hair tied back, and bare right thigh tantalizingly visible. A swath of plain fabric is wrapped around her waist with a black boot or stocking on her right lower leg. Other clothing is draped over a chair to the left. The work was painted in oils on cardboard and employs a light color palette, predominantly blues with yellowish greens and red for the woman's hair, which stands out incredibly in the picture, I might add, thinned with turpentine to create a loose effect. This post-impressionist image, similar to a work in pastels or a sketch, very much like the Dancing Girls, by the way, of Degas. You think about those great impressionist images of dancers from Degas and all those beautiful pastels. It was a similar situation where you had probing eyes watching these very intimate warm-ups or ballet routines or stretches that Degas gave us, these delicately, beautifully lined females. Say you see it again here if you go back into Toulouse-Lautrec. She's got the body certainly of a dancer. Maybe she's a show woman, part of the can-can, the illustrious can-can, if it's not too early for this in French culture yet. And you can see the intimacy of her toilette, her bathroom, right? Everything is kind of scattered around. It gives you a sense of voyeuristic closeness to someone. And there is something, charged about the fact, sexually charged about the fact that as you watch her, she does not know she's being watched, which leads her to perhaps greater intimacy in the picture than she would be displaying if she knew she had people watching her.